And today I bring you the Binge compilation for Apricity by Raindrops on Mushrooms. But before we get into that, here's the warnings. There's a warning for mentions of sexual assault, panic attacks and mental breakdowns, and some homophobic language and or some slurs. Now, before we get into it, I'd like to invite you to join the Discord, which is linked down in the description below. That being said, on to the binge. Chapter 1. America sits in the bathroom stall, sobbing and shaking on the floor. Why had Canada disappeared? He promised he'd stay this time. Where had he gone? He could still feel the guy's hands on his waist and thigh, feel the guy's breath on his neck and ear. He curls up tighter, sobbing against the hem of his dress. He knew he shouldn't have worn something this short. He was just asking for something bad to happen to him. Attention whore, dresses like a slut. His ex's voice rings in his head, sharp and mocking. He hears a swell of music as the door opens, quickly swallowing his sobs, trying to stay silent. A person sighs, their shoes clicking on the floor as they walk to the sink. He heard the familiar hiss of a lighter as the person took a drag of something. A faint smell of cigarettes filled the bathroom as the stranger began to smoke. He was so distracted by the familiar scent of smoke that he accidentally let a sob pass. This person shifted, turning in his direction. "Hello!" Their voice is intriguing, with a strange accent America has never heard before. He sniffles before remembering that he's supposed to be staying silent. The stranger walks down the stalls, their footsteps getting closer. They stop in front of his stall, their high-heeled boots visible beneath the door. "Is someone in there?" Their voice sounds masculine, and judging from the fact that they're in the boys' bathroom, America assumes they identify as male. "Are you okay?" Their voice jolts him out of his thoughts. He stammers, his voice still sounding tearful. "Can I come in?" The person's voice is gentle and soothing. Their accent is almost hypnotic. "Yeah, He whimpers a bit, curling up again. He hears a soft breeze and the lock of the stall slides open, letting the person in. "Oh dear, are you all right?" he asks. America looks up at him. He's masculine presenting and tall, even taller with the heels on. His outfit is quite intriguing. A black crop top with a deep purple jacket over it, and some long gray leggings. The jacket has silver glitter sprinkled all over the shoulders, and the crop top has 2 words in a language that America doesn't know. His heels are long, black boots up to his knees that are made of shiny leather with 4-inch stilettos. His hair is white and done up with an undercut, well-groomed and gorgeous. He kneels down, keeping his balance perfectly in the stilettos, a worried expression on his face. "Are you okay?" he asks. "Did someone hurt you?" Someone touched me. America stammers. "Oh dear, are you hurt?" the stranger asks. No. "Do you know anyone here? Someone who can take you home?" he asks gently. America shakes his head. "Can I sit beside you for a moment?" the stranger asks. America hesitates before nodding quietly. The stranger sits down beside him. "Are you cold?" he asks. America nods, silent. The stranger takes off his purple jacket, gently tucking it around America's shoulders. America sniffles, curled up. My name's Russia, the stranger says, gently. That would explain the flag over his skin, a beautiful tricolor of white, blue, and red. Plenty of people enjoyed dressing up as world countries, as it got them attention. Most countries were seen as celebrity among humans, although some had been given the short end of the stick. I'm America, America says quietly, looking up at Russia, who smiles comfortingly. It's nice to meet you, America, he says gently. America rubs his tears away, taking a shaky breath. You doing any better? America nods hesitantly. That's good, I'm glad. Do you have anywhere you're headed? My brother was supposed to drive me home, but I think he had to rush to his place. That's why I'm here alone, America says quietly. But my house is pretty far away. Are you all right with me taking you to my apartment? You can stay there for the night, and you can call your brother in the morning so he can pick you up. Really? If you're okay with it. Russia stands up, offering his hand to America. The smaller country hesitates before reaching out and taking Russia's hand. Russia smiles kindly, helping America stand up and adjusting his jacket on his shoulders. Are you still cold? He asks. America hesitates before nodding quietly. Are you all right with me touching you? Kind of, America says quietly. Russia smiles gently, pulling America against his side, rubbing his shoulder. Shall we? He asks softly. America blushes in surprise. Sure, he says quietly. Russia gently leads America out of the bathroom and through the club, into the chilly night air. America shivers, shifting closer to Russia as the taller country leads him down the sidewalk and to his car. He helps America into the passenger seat before going and getting into the driver's seat, starting the car. He waits until America has warmed up with the heater before driving off, the hum of the engine starting to lull America to sleep. Russia stops the car at an apartment building, turning it off. He slips out of the car, going and gently picking America up. America shifts slightly, sighing tiredly as Russia starts the car door and starts to carry him up the stairs of the apartment building. He moves America to one arm, getting out some keys and unlocking a door, and stepping inside. Yaya, I am home, he calls out. America vaguely hears the sound of paws on wood before something wet and cold brushes over his hand. He pulls his hand up with a surprised squeak, making Russia chuckle warmly. Don't worry, it's just my dog. She's always curious about strangers. He moves, setting America on the couch for a moment. America rubs his eyes beneath his sunglasses, clearing his blurry vision. In front of him is what looks like a wolf, panting and happily wagging her tail. That is not a dog, he blurts, making Russia laugh again. She's the lupine dog, Mylinky. He pets her head. You can pet her head if you like. She's very friendly. Mylinky roughly translates to little, and it's used as a nickname in this case. America hesitates before reaching out and petting the dog's fur. Oh, she's so soft, He breathes, immediately petting her with both hands. Russia chuckles. Indeed she is. What's her name again? Yaya, but she also responds to Leah and Lila, since most non-Russians can't pronounce her name. She's very pretty, America says with a shy smile. Russia chuckles. Yes, she is indeed. Now, are you hungry? Oh, no, not really. Well, if you ever are, you can take whatever you like from the fridge or cabinets. I don't mind. Now, I'll show you to where you'll be staying. He offers his hand to America. Oh, I thought I'd just sleep on the couch. America stammers. Oh, no, I won't have that. You're a guest, and you deserve to sleep in a bed. Russia leads America down the hall. But this only seems big enough for a one-bedroom. It is. Russia opens a door at the end of the hall, letting America in. The bedroom is small, barely decorated, but clearly Russia's. A small bookshelf stands in the far corner by the bathroom, lined with books on every shelf. A dresser and wardrobe stand on the same wall, a small mirror perched on the dresser's flat surface. A bed and small table stand to their left. A plain white bedspread and 2 gray pillows. It looked like any average person's room, and yet Russia was able to own expensive clothes and an expensive car. America is snapped out of his thoughts by a click of a door opening, and he realizes Russia is across the room, looking through the wardrobe. Ah, here we are. He takes out a set of clothes, placing them on the bed. You can have these for pajamas. They should fit. He smiles. America walks over, looking at the clothes. They're relatively simple and look well worn. A black sweater with a red pattern of roses down the arms, and a large rose on the back, and a gray set of sweatpants with white lines down the sides of each leg. Really? Thank you. America stammers, picking up the shirt. No problem. Russia smiles before heading to the door. Sleep well. Wait, where will you sleep? I mean, this is your bedroom. America blurts. I'll sleep on the couch. Russia shrugs. No big deal. Oh, no. This is your apartment. I couldn't possibly. No, I insist. Besides, I prefer sleeping on the couch. Brings back good memories. Russia smiles, stepping out into the hallway. Sleep tight. He closes the door, and his footsteps grow fainter as he walks down the hallway. America looks at the clothes, blushing. Russia was being so nice to him, but why? He rapidly shakes his head, changing. He hesitates before getting into Russia's bed, snuggling down. He pulls out his phone, texting Canada. Hey. Oh my god, I totally forgot. I'm so sorry. Mexico was having a breakdown and I ran off. Are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine, bro. This really nice guy found me crying in the bathroom. He's letting me stay at his place tonight, so you can pick me up in the morning. Some random guy? You sure that's safe? He hasn't tried anything. Besides, I trust him, for some reason, lol. What's his name? I think he said Russia or something like that. He's a country like us. What the fuck? You're serious? America blinks, answering when Canada calls him a second later. Yeah? Are you kidding me? You're at Russia's house! Canada practically screams, making America almost drop his phone. Dude, what the fuck? Quit screaming. What's wrong? America asked. Russia is like... Canada sputters, stumbling over his words. He's like a world-famous ice skater? His shows are booked like 3 months in advance. The guy is filthy rich. The one you always drool over on TV. No way, this can't be the same guy. He lives in a one-room apartment and likes sleeping on his couch. America pauses. Although he does have some expensive clothes and a nice car. He blushes in embarrassment and surprise. Oh my god, I'm sleeping in a celebrity's bed. He squeaks. You're in his bed? Canada shrieks. Explain, now. Dude, chill. Something happened at the bar, and I was crying in the bathroom. Russia found me and helped me calm down. Then he took me to his place when I told him my house was pretty far from there. He gave me some clothes and insisted I take the bed because he didn't mind sleeping on the couch. America blushes. Dude, what the fuck did you do? Canada's voice is layered with awe and confusion. Nothing. What do you mean? Russia is like the coldest, least emotional person, especially with his fans. He thanks them for their support, but that's it. No one has seen him act nice. The occasional fan on Twitter or something will tell a story about how he saved them or something like that, but there's never any proof. Lots of people actually hate him because of how emotionless he acts. You must have done something to get him to like you. Canada explains. I don't think he likes me? America protests. Nah, man, he definitely does. At least as a friend. America hesitates. Nada, can I tell you a secret? Of course, Mary. You can tell me anything. I'm always here to listen. I know it may seem stupid or irresponsible. I think I like him. Russia, I mean. America says quietly. Well, Mary, lots of people like him. No, I mean, like him. Oh, well, Mary, I mean, no offense, but you haven't really had a lot of luck in that department. I know, but I feel like he's different, and maybe I'm just confused, but maybe I just feel like this because he's the first stranger that's been nice to me in a while, but I don't know. I just really need someone. America sniffles, wiping away the tears that had formed in his eyes. Hey, it's gonna be alright, May. Take a deep breath for me, okay? Canada says gently. America does so, taking shaky breaths and wiping his eyes. Now, Russia is a really nice guy in his private life. He cares a lot about his family. That's like 90% of his social media posts. He's mentioned a few times that he's bisexual, usually pride posts during June and stuff like that. So, what you need to do is get your gay ass over to him in the morning and ask for his phone number. He'll almost definitely give it to you, given that he let you sleep in his bed, and then, boom, start building your relationship. But what if he doesn't? America whispers. He will, I'm sure of it. Trust me, okay? Canada's voice has a gentle smile in it. America hesitates. Okay. That's my brother. Now, you go to sleep, okay? I'll pick you up in the morning. Just send me the address. Okay. I love you, bro. Don't forget it, okay? Alright, love you too, Nada. Canada hangs up. America texts him the address before setting his phone down. He shifts deeper into the blanket, breathing in the scent with a happy sigh. He slowly drifts to sleep, dreaming of what might come to be. Chapter 2. Russia sits on the couch, opening his phone. The usual floods of notifications, people tagging him in random posts, sharing art, or messaging him. He opens his Instagram, typing a name in the search bar. After a few dead ends, he finds what he's looking for. At The Real America, 50. He scrolls a bit before finding the beginning, and from there he looks at every photo and every story for each picture. He was ashamed to admit that he overheard America's conversation with his brother, how America had quickly developed a little crush on him, and how America seemed to have bad experiences with past lovers. After scrolling through America's social medias for a while, Russia had figured out a vague idea of America's past relationships. His first partner had been Germany, a sweet European country. They seemed to have ended on good terms, given that they both still followed each other and commented on posts of their socials. Russia knew Germany well, so he knew he wouldn't have hurt America on purpose. His second partner was a boy named Poland. There was little about their relationship, so it was clear they broke up rather suddenly. His third partner was a girl named Philippines. Russia knew the story behind this, since Phil and Russia's older brother, Estonia, were close friends. Both of them were trans, and it seemed that Phil and America started dating before she came out to him. Since America was most likely gay, it was understandable that they would break up. But they clearly remained as friends, much like he and Germany had. America's fourth partner was Brazil. Russia knew him. He had quite a reputation for being a player. He must have broken up with America, since America still followed him. So Canada hadn't been lying. America really hadn't had good luck with relationships. Russia feels a swell of protectiveness towards the star-spangled country. America deserved better, so much better. Maybe, no, that wouldn't work. There was a lot of risk in Russia's job. If he got hurt, America would be broken-hearted. No, it was best to keep his distance. Maybe just be friends. Yes, that would work. The next morning, America woke up to the smell of cinnamon rolls and bacon. His mouth immediately began to water as his stomach grumbled needily, demanding food, now. He slips out of the bed, quietly padding down the hall. The too big sweater Russia had lent him slipping down his shoulders slightly. He peeks into the kitchen. Russia is there, still in the shirt from last night, but now with a casual pair of track pants on, frying bacon and humming quietly. America watches him, a warm blush painting his cheeks. He was so handsome. His hair was ever so slightly messed up, just enough to look elegant and gorgeous, the bright light of the kitchen making it sparkle like fresh snow. America blinks in surprise. He had no idea that his gay disaster mind could be so poetic. Russia looks over, smiling kindly. Good morning. Oh, sweet God, his voice is gorgeous in the morning. America thinks to himself. It was true, his voice was warm, but still slightly rough from the night. Good morning, America stammers, blushing in embarrassment. Russia chuckles. Did you sleep well? He asks. Yeah, I did, America mumbles, fiddling with the sleeves of the sweater as they slide down over his hands. That's good, I'm glad. Russia turns back to the stove. I wasn't sure what you liked, and I didn't have much at the moment, so I just made what I had. You didn't have to do that, you know. America says quickly, but he can't keep his eyes off of the cinnamon rolls on the counter beside Russia. Nonsense, you're my guest. I do my best to treat guests as well as I can, Russia says, taking a few rolls out of the tray and setting them on a plate, adding a few slices of bacon, but being sure not to let them touch. I mean, if you insist, America mumbles, but he's cut off by his stomach growling desperately. Russia smiles gently, handing him the plate. You can have as much as you like. I can always cook more, he says gently. America blushes, taking the plate with a shy thanks before moving to the table. He sits down and starts to eat. He melts almost immediately. It was all so delicious. How on earth had Russia made it all taste so good? He finishes eating a bit faster, finishing the plate quickly. He blushes, glancing at Russia before looking away again. Could I have some more? He asks quietly. Russia smiles, taking his plate and giving him a second serving before handing the plate back to America, who eagerly starts to eat again. Another serving later, he's finally full, though he can feel the guilt that always came with eating starting to scrape at the back of his mind. Sorry, I ate so much. It's all right. I'm happy to share. A familiar car honk snaps them both out of their thoughts. Oh, that's probably my brother. America stands up. Ah, all right. Here you go. Russia hands him a bag with his clothes from last night. Got them this morning while you were still asleep. Oh, thanks. America takes the bag, fiddling with his thumbs. I was wondering, you know, if something like this happened again, could I... Oh, never mind. He looks away, embarrassed and ashamed. Canada honks again. I should go. Oh, before you do. Russia takes something out of his pocket, handing it to America with a smile. In case you need anything. America takes it, looking. It's a small business card with Russia's name, email, and his phone number. Thanks. Russia smiles. No problem. See you around, my Linky. America waves a bit before jogging out the door. He slips into Canada's car, shutting the door. Yo, what are you wearing? Canada asks as he drives off. That wasn't what you were wearing last night. America blushes. Oh my god, I forgot these were his. He squeaks. Dude, he definitely likes you. Canada grins. Did you get his number? Well... Oh, don't you dare say you forgot. I will drive your ass back over there, Canada says firmly as they stop at a red light. No, I didn't forget. I kind of chickened out, but then he gave me his business card. America takes the card out of his pocket, looking at it. Aw, you're blushing, Canada coos, practically melting. You two would be so cute. Oh my god. America's cheeks flush a brighter red. Shut up, he mutters, covering his face with his hands. Canada giggles, continuing to drive as the light turns green. America looks at the card again before taking out his phone and adding Russia's number to his few contacts. Hi, it's America from last night. Couldn't wait to text me, I didn't want to forget. If you're busy, I can stop. I'm not, don't worry. You sure? My bro says you're famous and really busy all the time. Today's my day off, don't worry. Okay, so you're actually famous? I am, yes. I'm sorry I didn't tell you that last night. It didn't seem relevant. Does that anger you? Nah, just a little surprising, well. My brother started freaking out when I told him. I'm painfully popular. I honestly don't like it. Why is that? I would have thought being popular was great. It can be a pain sometimes. Very lonely. But I can provide for my family, so I suppose it's alright. Aw, that's sweet of you. I hate that you're lonely, though. Lonely. I'm over here trying to be nice, and you just autocorrect me. Your concern is appreciated. Oh my god, he's so professional! America groans, dropping his phone into his lap. Canada giggles. What were you expecting? Emojis and shortened words? Dude's a celebrity, and a European one at that. They're all uptight over there. How can he be so proper? He was wearing a crop top, leggings, and high-heeled boots when I met him. America exclaims. Oh my god, that sounds gorgeous. Was he gorgeous? Canada asks. Duh! America blushes, remembering how Russia looked in full detail. Jesus Christ, he was stunning. Yo, how did his ass look? Nada! You have a boyfriend! I'm still allowed to look. Besides, Max likes him too, so we simp over him together. America groans, his head falling down against the dashboard. How am I ever gonna get him to like me? There's so many other people he could fall in love with. He mumbles. Maybe, but there have been so many other half-drunk people crying in club bathrooms that he could have taken home. But he chose you. Canada smiles, leaning over and nudging America's shoulder. He'll like you, I'm sure of it. I hope so. Chapter 3. That night, America couldn't sleep. He tosses and turns, glancing at his phone occasionally. Finally, he can't stop himself. He grabs his phone, opening up Rush's contact. Hey, you up? Yes, and you should be asleep, my Winky. What does that mean? Nothing. Why are you not sleeping? I wanted to ask you if you and I could maybe hang out sometime? Could. And I would be glad to. I have practice tomorrow at 9 to 11, but I'm free after that. Why the hesitation? Oh, well, I don't want to bother you. Pardon? I didn't want to bother you. You're allowed to ask me for time, my Winky. I do not mind. It's not a bother, I promise. Really? Yes, really. Okay. But I want to talk to you. You can talk to me tomorrow. It's alright. You can't make me. I can't stop responding, though. Wait, no. Russia! Don't ignore me. Fine, I'll sleep. Read at 3:15 a.m. America sighs, fighting a smile as he sets his phone down. Maybe Canada was right. Maybe Russia did actually like him. America woke up at around noon, feeling more rested than he had in a long time. He looks out the window at the orange and yellow leaves, smiling. He jumps when his phone buzzes, looking at the screen. Canada was calling? He answers. Yo! You're alive! Canada crows, laughing a bit. Dude, I've sent you like 20 texts. What's up? You never sleep this late. I don't know. I was just tired. America yawned. Why? What's up? We have lunch with Mama today. Remember? Kiwi's bringing Phil, and Ozzy's coming too. Dad said he might, but you know how him and Mama are. Canada sighs. The French roughly translates to Mom. You bringing Mexico? America asks, putting Canada on speakerphone so he can scroll through his notifications. Yeah, if he'll get up. Canada chuckles, and America can hear the bed shift as Canada moves. Max, wake up, he coos. No, leave me alone, Mexico groans. Jesus, you were hard last night. Babe, I'm on the phone, Canada stammers, and America laughs as Mexico starts stammering in flustered Spanish. Don't worry, I'm not a kid or anything. America giggles. Oh, Dios mío, Mexico groans. The Spanish translates to, my God. May, don't you dare say anything, Canada demands. Bro, I don't care about your sex life. It's fine, man. I'm not going to tell anyone. America rolls his eyes with a smile. Canada and Mexico both let out breaths of relief. Y'all are so weird, America giggles. Canada chuckles a bit. Well, now that Mex is awake, we're gonna get dressed and head down to the cafe, okay? Alright, see you there, America grins. Lovebirds. Shut up, May. Canada laughs. Love you too, mate. Don't take 10,000 years to get ready, eh? Yeah, whatever. America rolls his eyes. See you around. See ya. Canada hangs up. America immediately goes over to his messages, texting Russia. Hi, good morning. Good morning. You slept? Yeah, way longer than I usually do. That's good, though. At least you slept. Only 'cause you stopped talking to me. It worked, though, did it not? I mean, yeah. Precisely. Now, how did you sleep? Really good, actually. Thank you for asking. Of course. Oh, right. So, I had something to say. Yes? Okay, so I'm going to lunch with my family today, so I was wondering if maybe we could meet up after. Sure, I would like that. Cool. Anywhere specific? We could meet at the skating rink. Oh, is something wrong with that? Well, I mean, not really. I can't skate. I can teach you if you like. If not, we can go somewhere else. Don't worry. You would teach me? Of course. Really? Yes, really. Oh, I mean, sure. You're sure? We can still go somewhere else, if you want. No, skating sounds great. All right, I will be there all day. I will meet you there? Sounds good. Wonderful. I'll see you there. See you there. Read at 12:55 a.m. America giggles happily, slipping out of bed. He runs over to his dresser, picking up the hoodie that Russia had given him, breathing in its scent. He pulls off his shirt, slipping the hoodie on. He changes into some comfy jeans, adjusting his sunglasses before jogging out the door. He grabs his wallet and keys, ties a plaid shirt around his waist, and jogs out the door into his car, completely forgetting to take his pills.
Chapter 4.
America pulls into the parking lot of his mom's cafe around 1:10 in the afternoon. Stopping his car, he hops out, looking up at the sun-warmed brick walls, and he can't help but smile. He locks his car, slipping his wallet and phone into his hoodie pocket. He walks up to the door, knocking gently on the glass over the closed sign. Within moments, the door opens and America is enveloped in a warm, sweet-smelling hug. "My petite baby!" France coos, hugging him tightly. The French translates to "my little baby." America can't help but breaking into a smile, giggling brightly and hugging her back. "Hey, Mom," he says, breathing in her comforting scent of sugar and cake. She pulls away and kisses both of his cheeks, cupping his face in her hands. "How have you been? It's been so long since we last talked," she says brightly. America giggles. "Mom, we literally talked last week," he points out. "Far too long ago," France exclaims, making America laugh. He hugs her again. "I missed you, Mom," he says softly. He can feel her smile as she hugs him back. "I missed you too, mon cher ange," she murmurs, kissing his forehead. The two part, still close by each other, as France pulls him into the kitchen to help her cook. The next hour passes quickly, with Canada and Mexico popping in halfway, both being dragged into the kitchen as well. All four of the countries are wrist-deep in bread-making when someone knocks on the door. "It's open!" France calls out happily. The door opens to the familiar rustle of feathers jolting everyone out of their thoughts. America immediately rushes over to the door. "Kiwi!" He beams at his little sister, going over and wrapping his arms around her. New Zealand laughs brightly, hugging him back. "Hey, mate, how you been?" she asks, smiling brightly as he steps back. "Great." He grins and she giggles. "It's awesome!" She grins, making him giggle. He looks over at the person beside her and smiles warmly. "Hey, Phil," he says brightly. The smaller girl smiles back at him shyly, waving a bit. "Hey, America," she says quietly. New Zealand smiles brightly, taking Phil's hand and kissing her cheek. "Want to tell Faye the good news?" she asks. "Oh?" America grins. Phil blushes, shifting back and forth on her feet. "I have a date for my surgery." The excitement in her voice is obvious. "Wow, that's awesome! I'm so happy for you!" America cheers. Phil giggles, smiling. "Thanks, America. Really, you've been a great help." She shifts a bit. "And you're sure it's no problem? That I'm dating your sister, I mean. Like, after us?" She stumbles over her words a bit. America smiles, nudging her shoulder with his elbow. "Hey, it's fine. Don't worry, okay? Trust me," he says gently. "Thanks," she says quietly. "Zealand!" France cries out from behind them, rushing forward and hugging her daughter. New Zealand giggles brightly, hugging her mother, and the two begin conversing in fluent French. A few minutes later, Australia comes in, and the whole family sits down to eat. Everyone talks and laughs, but someone knocks on the door. Everyone looks over, and France freezes. Britain stands there, Spain beside him. The smaller European is looking quite nervous. France and Britain had divorced after a night at their favorite bar when France walked in on a drunk Briton kissing Spain. Both men were clearly into it, and France was quite hurt that Britain had hidden such a thing from her. The two both agreed that it would be better for them to split up, but France still held on to that feeling of betrayal. She'd refused to go to Britain and Spain's wedding a few months after the divorce, and maintained minimal contact with him. America stands up first, going to the door and opening it. He smiles down at his father. "Hey, Dad," he says softly. Britain smiles back shakily. "Hello there, America. How have you been?" he asks. "I'm doing great. How about you two?" He smiles at Spain, who gives him a grateful nod. "We're doing good, thank you," Spain says smoothly, getting a hand on Britain's shoulder. The smaller European leans against his lover a bit, taking a deep breath. Are we allowed in?" Britain asks slowly. "Of course. Come on, there's plenty to eat," America says brightly, stepping aside to let them in. Spain gently guides Britain inside, looking down at France with a slightly bitter expression, which she returns. Britain notices, gently nudging Spain's arm. "Be nice," he says softly. Spain takes a deep breath before looking away from France. "Come on, y'all can sit by me," America chirps brightly, leading them to the table. Spain sits beside him, Britain on his right, between New Zealand and Spain. New Zealand smiles as Britain sits down. "Hey, Dad," she says softly, her wing brushing over his shoulder comfortingly. He smiles a bit in response. "Hey, Kiwi," he says quietly. "So, Britain," France says smoothly, "how are things at your house?" "Good, we're doing fine," Britain says quietly, picking at his food. "Good, I'm glad you're happy." "Mom," Canada says quietly. "France, please, not now," Britain is practically begging. "Why not? What's so wrong with having a civil conversation over lunch?" France demands. "Aren't I allowed to ask what my cheating ex-husband..." "Mom," America cuts in, setting down his fork a bit harder than intended. "We've all had this conversation 1,000 times before. I know you're still mad and feel betrayed, but it's not Dad's fault he didn't love you. He wanted to be friends with you still. You're the one who pushed him away. So please, stop being like this to him and move on. He already has it hard enough." Everyone is silent. "I'm sorry, you're right. We're all family here," France says after a moment. Everyone goes back to eating. A few minutes later, everyone is finished and helping clean up. France gently pulls America to the side. "Amerique, please don't think any less of me because of what I said," she says quietly. The French in chapter is literally the French way of saying America. "I won't. Mom, I don't," America says gently. "I just wish you two could get along as friends. I'm not asking you to forget what he did, just to forgive him. He's really trying." France sighs. "Hey, remember when I was little?" America nudges her shoulder a bit. "You and Dad would have those big arguments in the living room about whether or not I was old enough to get official ownership of my country. I was always so scared you two would stop loving each other and leave me alone. But you didn't. Remember what you used to say?" "Of course I remember," France says quietly. "You would tell me that as long as Dad was happy, you were happy. Well, Dad's happy now, with Spain. So why aren't you happy for him?" America asks gently. France looks away. "I don't know. Maybe I'm jealous." Maybe I wanted someone for myself, but you're right, I shouldn't treat him the way I have been, because I want what he has. She takes a deep breath. Hey, maybe he can help you find someone. America smiles. Spain knows a lot of people, so does Dad, so I'm sure he'd be able to help. France smiles slightly. Thank you, darling, really. No problem, Mom. Now I gotta go. Is that okay? America smiles. France nods. Yes, it is alright. You go have fun, okay? She smiles, leaning up and kissing her son's cheeks. America smiles, hugging her back. Love you, Mama, he mumbles, hugging her close. He feels her smile as she hugs him back, murmuring soft French as she kisses his cheek. America giggles warmly as she ruffles his hair. I'll see you later, yeah? He says. She nods with a smile. He waves at her as he leaves the cafe, hopping into his car. Hey Siri. He pulls out his phone.
Yes.
The AI responds. Take me to the ice rink.
Turn left onto University Drive.
The AI begins her route to the ice rink. America types a quick, headed your way to Russia before tossing his phone into the passenger seat and driving off. 20 minutes later, he pulls into the empty ice rink parking lot. No other cars are there except for one that he recognizes as Russia's. He slips out of his car, putting his phone in his pocket and looking up at the big rink. He looks around, nervous. He heads to the door, peeking in. He steps inside, shivering a bit at the sudden blast of cold air. Music is playing through the speakers, a peaceful classical song. America looks around at the empty stands and high ceiling in awe, stopping when he sees Russia gliding over the ice in tune to the music. Russia is gorgeous. He's wearing a navy leotard with white snow patterns that gradiate to solid white at his ankles, wrists, and neck. His skates are white and silver, cutting easily over the ice. His eyes are closed, his white hair fluttering in the wind of his movements as he easily jumps and spins over the ice, never faltering once. He stops as the song does, one ankle crossed over the other as he bows to an imaginary audience. America claps, jolting Russia out of his thoughts. The tall country turns around, looking at America. He blushes slightly, smiling. He skates over to the door of the rink, stepping out. He beckons to America, and the smaller country pads over happily. You made it! He exclaims, sweeping America up in a hug. America blushes brightly, stammering. He giggles a bit, hugging Russia back. The taller country sets him down, smiling brightly. You look great. America stammers, blushing and shivering. Russia chuckles. Here, let me help. Russia leans back, rifling through his bag. He pulls out a thick jacket, handing it to America. Thank you. America takes the jacket and slips it on, smiling shyly up at Russia, who smiles back. So, are you going to join me on the ice? Russia asks. I mean, I don't want to slow you down. America fiddles with the sleeves of Russia's jacket. Russia smiles. You won't, I promise, he says gently. I don't have any skates, America says nervously. I figured you wouldn't, so I brought you some. Russia leans back to rifle around in his bag, pulling out a pair of older skates. These were mine when I was younger. They don't fit me anymore, but they're still strong. Here, try them on. He holds them out for America to take. The smaller country hesitates, but takes them. They're heavy, heavier than he expected, and the leather is smooth and well worn. They're a deep navy color. The laces a bright silver that matched the blades. They're gorgeous, America breathes. Russia smiles. Indeed they are, he says softly, but his eyes aren't on the skates at all. America sits down, slipping his shoes off. He pulls the skates on, lacing them up and tying them. They fit perfectly, he exclaims. Russia smiles. Wonderful. I'm glad they do. America looks up at him. How do I stand up? He asks nervously. Russia chuckles warmly, holding his hand out. Make a V shape with your feet before you stand. Then take my hand and I'll help you up, okay? America nods, doing as he's told. He takes Russia's hand, standing up. His knees wobble and he falls forward a bit, into Russia's chest. Russia stumbles a bit, but catches America easily. He smiles. There you go, easy now, he says gently. America blushes brightly, stammering a bit. Russia chuckles. Come, let's go onto the ice, yes? He moves back at a step. America squeaks in panic, holding tightly onto Russia's upper arms. Russia smiles gently. I'm not going to let you fall, I promise, he says softly. I'll never let you fall. How do I walk? He asks quietly. Just follow my footsteps, okay? Russia says comfortingly. Slowly but surely, America and Russia walk to the door of the ice rink. America barely tripping at all. Russia opens the door and steps onto the ice, staying close enough so that he can hold America's hands. America hesitates, his legs trembling, his eyes locked onto the icy, slick floor in front of him. Hey, Russia says softly. Look at me. America looks up nervously. Russia smiles. Remember what I said? I won't let you fall, he says gently. America hesitates before forcing a deep breath and nodding. Just keep looking at me. Don't look at your feet, look at me. Russia's voice is gentle and comforting, making America relax. He stops shaking, taking a deep breath. Slowly and nervously he moves forward, placing one foot on the ice. Russia smiles, keeping a hold of America's hands. Keep the V shape. It'll keep you stable, he says gently. America nods, taking his other foot and placing it on the ice. He can't help but smile when he doesn't fall. I'm standing. I'm not falling, he breathes, his breath fogging in front of him with every word. Russia smiles warmly. I knew you could do it, he says proudly. America smiles happily. Would you like me to show you how to skate? Russia asks. America nods excitedly. All right, here, stay on the wall and watch my skates, okay? America nods again, holding onto the wall with one hand. Russia gently lets go of his hand, skating backwards a bit. He turns around, taking a deep breath, lifting one foot as he begins to skate, gliding over the ice with ease. America watches in awe, but his nervousness slowly comes creeping back into his mind as Russia skates around the rink a few times. Russia scrapes to a stop in front of him, smiling comfortingly. There, see? You're so good, America says quietly. Russia gently takes his hands again. I've also been doing this since I was 6 years old. Here, let me show you something. Russia gently takes America's hand, lifting it up a bit and moving it over his face. America blushes, his brow furrowing as his fingers glide over different scars. Russia gently wraps America's hand in his. Each one of those is from a time I fell. I'm not perfect, America. That's impossible. I didn't have anyone there to catch me. but you do. I promise I will never let you fall, okay? He says softly. You don't need to worry. You'll be all right. America blushes and can't help but smile. I trust you, he says quietly. Russia smiles softly, holding his hand. We're going to start out slow, okay? Just one stroke at a time. He says gently. Now, I want you to lift your right foot and push off in the direction of your left, okay? Like I did. America takes a deep breath, lifting his right foot. He wobbles slightly, a slight whimper bubbling up in his throat. Russia gently squeezes his hand, and he calms, setting his foot down and pushes off. And he moves forward. Oh, I did it! He exclaims. Russia smiles, moving behind America. He sets his hands on America's waist, steadying him. One stroke at a time. Now, set your right foot down and push with your left. America does so. Back and forth they go, Russia's hands on America's waist, guiding him around the rink. America picks up speed fast, growing more confident with each stroke. It's not until he sees Russia skating backwards alongside him that he realizes Russia is no longer holding on to him. He grins brightly. I'm doing it! Russia smiles back. I knew you could, he says warmly. America blushes, but his focus on Russia messes him up slightly. He trips over a chunk in the ice, tumbling forward with a squeak. He stops inches above the ice, panting in surprise. Russia's arm is around his waist, holding him up. America looks up at Russia, blushing as the tall Slav smiles down at him. I told you, I'd never let you fall.
Chapter 5.
Afterwards, America and Russia go to a nearby cafe, taking a table on the private upper floor so people didn't bother them. America smiles, snuggled into Russia's fluffy jacket as he sips on his hot chocolate. Orange and yellow trees sway in the autumn breeze through the window behind him, their chill left behind on the jackets of other customers. Russia smiles softly at America, his chin resting on his hands as he watches the small country in front of him. America sets his cup down, sighing happily. Russia chuckles warmly. What? America asks, oblivious to the whipped cream on his nose. Here, let me get that for you. Russia reaches over, swiping the cream away with his thumb. America blushes brightly, giggling like a little girl. Thanks, he says quietly, twiddling his thumbs. Of course. Russia nods. Oh, I had a question, America blurts. Yes? Russia smiles. So, the other day, when I was at your place, you told me sleeping on the couch brought back good memories. Can I ask what you meant? He asks. Oh, it just reminds me of my childhood. Really? Yes, when I was younger, our house was quite small. I had many siblings, adopted and biological. There was a total of 17 of us, not including my parents. Since there were rarely enough rooms for everyone, me and my parents would sleep in the living room, so all the other kids could share the more comfortable rooms. Oh, that's sweet of you, America coos. Russia chuckles, a light blush painting his cheeks. What about you? Tell me about your family, Russia says, sipping his tea. We're not too special. I'm the eldest child. Got 3 siblings. Canada is below me by a year or so. Australia and Kiwi are both 4 years younger, thereabouts. Kiwi? Oh, that's her nickname. Her name is New Zealand, but we all call her Kiwi 'cause of the cute birds on her islands.
Ah, I see.
Russia smiles. Got both my parents. They're divorced, though. Mom is single, owns a cafe downtown. Dad got remarried a few months after the divorce. We're all on good terms, though. That's good. Family is important. Family of any kind. Russia smiles, taking another drink. America sniffs a bit, his eyes on Russia's cup. Whatever was in there smelled really good. You want to try some? Russia asks, jolting America from his thoughts. The smaller country blushes brightly, stammering a bit. I mean, if you want to share, I can give you some of mine. He offers. Russia chuckles. No, it's all right. I'm not much of a fan of sugary drinks. He offers America the cup. America blushes, taking the cup. It's warm, and the smell of tea inside is spicy and enticing. He takes a sip, blushing when he sees Russia watching him. His shoulders slump for a moment as the warm tea sends flavors exploding into his mouth. He swallows quickly, sighing in contentment. That's really good, he says quietly, breathing in the warm steam. Russia smiles softly. America was so cute when he was content. You can have the rest if you like. America blushes. Really? He asks. Sure, I wasn't too thirsty anyway. Russia smiles warmly. America blushes more, taking another sip, sighing warmly. Thanks, Russia. This has been really fun. He says quietly, looking up at the tall country in front of him. Russia smiles. His eyes are warm, his chin still resting on his palm. Anytime, my Linky, he says softly. America giggles. What does that mean? He asks. Russia chuckles. Nothing of consequence. No, tell me. America whines. Russia laughs warmly, making America's heart skip a beat. That's for me to know, he says with a smile. Now, I'm sure you have more questions about me, so go ahead and ask. How old are you? America asks, sipping the tea again. 27. When's your birthday? June 12th. What's your favorite color? Cherry blossom. Russia blushes slightly, making America giggle. Favorite food? Not one in particular. Favorite drink? Tea or vodka, but only on special occasions. America frowns, trying to think of more questions. You can get more personal than that, you know. Russia smiles. Oh, really? America blushes when Russia nods. Okay, sexuality? He asks shyly. Bisexual. Worn a few outfits to prove it. Russia winks with a grin. America giggles again. Any phobias? Drowning, I suppose, and heights, especially if I'm not in control. Makes sense. Any crushes? Romantic interests? That sort of thing? America stammers a bit, fiddling with the sleeve of the jacket he's wearing. No one in particular, no. Russia smiles softly. America relaxes considerably, almost sighing in relief. Got any specific type? Not really, as long as they're kind. Russia grins playfully. And definitely much shorter than me. Oh, you're mean, America giggles. I don't have any other questions. You can ask, though. Age? 25. Birthday. And so the afternoon continues, each of them questioning back and forth. Neither wanted to leave when the sun set, but they both knew they had to. They said their goodbyes, hugging each other tightly. Russia left, feeling as though he knew America as well as he knew himself. America left with more hope than he'd had in a long time. America flops into his bed with a happy sigh, snuggling into Russia's jacket. The Slav had insisted America keep the jacket for the next time they skated. America blushes and giggles to himself. Maybe he really did have a chance. Maybe Russia would love him.
Chapter 6.
As the days blurred into weeks and the weeks blurred into months, America and Russia spent more and more time together, becoming the closest of friends. With every moment they spent together, America felt himself falling faster and harder, and soon he was unable to stop himself from blushing every time he thought of, heard, or saw the Russian. Russia seemed pretty oblivious, often asking if America was feeling well whenever he saw the smaller country blushing. Every time America was barely able to stutter out an excuse, which Russia always seemed to buy. A few months after they met, Russia called America to his apartment. "Yaros?" America looks up at Russia as he steps inside, smiling slightly. Russia faintly offers back a smile. "Rika, I need to ask you a favor," he says softly. America blushes at the nickname. Sure, what do you need?" He stammers a bit, clearing his throat. "I need you to watch Yaya for me, please." "Well, sure, but why?" "I'm going to be out for a few weeks. I have some shows out of town." Russia sighs, rubbing his eyes, and suddenly he looks very tired. America's heart sinks. How long will you be gone?" he asks, clearing his throat again. "Hopefully not long, but usually at least a month, or maybe longer," Russia says quietly. America looks away. Russia moves, gently setting a hand on America's shoulder. "Hey, I'll still keep in touch," he says softly. "I'll be back before you know I'm gone." He smiles comfortingly. Right. America takes a deep breath. "I can take care of her. Just tell me what she needs." "I'll message you before I leave tomorrow," Russia says softly. America shifts, wanting to hug his friend. Russia moves, wrapping his arms around the smaller country, pulling him close. "I'll miss you, Rika." Russia's voice is soft, the depth of his words vibrating through America's body. America wraps his arms around Russia, resisting the urge to bury his face into Russia's chest and breathe him in. "I'll miss you too. Please come back soon," America says quietly, looking up at him. Russia nods, smiling comfortingly. "I'll try, my Winky."
Chapter 7.
America sobs in his bathroom, the scene quite similar to that night in the club, the night that seemed to be 1,000 years ago. He hadn't seen Russia in weeks. The Slav had been busy out of town with his shows. They texted when Russia had time, but even that was rare. America cries, feeling so alone again. He hadn't told Russia he loved him, still hadn't confessed anything. They'd gone out on so many dates, walks in the park, lunch together, skating often, staying at America's house to watch TV or going to Russia's apartment to cook together. But still, America hadn't been able to say anything. He cries, not hearing the front door open, not hearing the soft footsteps that pad down the hallway, not hearing the bedroom door open. What he does hear is the bathroom door open. He quickly scrambles away, sniffling and shaking as he looks up with teary eyes. Russia is standing there, a worried and confused look on his face. Russia? He whimpers. The Slav kneels down in front of him, gently rubbing away America's tears. Rika, what happened? He asks softly, the nickname stabbing into America's heart like a knife. Why are you here? I came back early so I could see you before my next show, Russia says softly. Why are you crying? You shouldn't have bothered. I'm not worth it. America shakes. I'm stupid and annoying. I'm ugly and... Stop that. Russia interrupts, cutting America off. Don't you dare say that. Russia gently cups America's face in his hands. You are beautiful, Rika. You're the most amazing, kind, beautiful, warm-hearted boy I've ever met. You're worth every moment of my day, and if I had more time to give you, I would. Russia's voice is soft, his eyes warm. America sniffles. Why? He looks up at Russia with tearful eyes, his lip trembling. Russia smiles comfortingly, brushing America's hair out of his tear-stained face. Because I love you, he says softly. Fireworks seem to go off in America's eyes and heart as he stares wide-eyed at the country in front of him. You... what? He breathes. I love you, Americanka, since practically the day I met you. I've loved you. At first it was just as a friend, but now I see that I love you more than that. I love you with every fiber of my being, everything that I am. You are so beautiful to me, Rika. You always have been. Russia says softly, his hands still cupped around America's face. America trembles, but finally gives in, leaning into Russia's touch. He grabs onto Russia's arms, starting to sob again. Russia moves, gently, bundling the small country into his lap, his strong arms wrapped loosely around America in case the younger wants to move away. He doesn't, though, huddling up against Russia's chest as he sobs, pouring out everything he'd held back, tears rushing down his face and soaking into Russia's sweater. The tall country doesn't seem to mind, rubbing America's back in small, comforting circles, gently rocking them both back and forth. America slowly calms down, taking in shuddering breaths, hiccuping and sniffling. Easy, it's okay, I've got you, Russia says softly. Just breathe with me, we're all right. America holds tightly onto Russia's sweater, trying to match his trembling breaths to Russia's steady ones, listening to the Slav's heartbeat. Finally, America has calmed down fully, slowly letting go of Russia's shirt, rubbing his eyes. He hiccups again, sniffling as he glances up at Russia. The tall country has a slightly worried expression on his face, but he's patient and warm, not pushing at all. America's cheeks flush a warm pink as he curls closer to Russia. Are you all right? Russia asks softly, combing out America's hair with his fingers. Yeah, doing better, America says softly, leaning into Russia's touch. Can I ask what brought this on? Russia's voice is gentle as his touch, his heartbeat steady and thrumming through America like the beat of a song. America looks away, towards his phone. Russia picks up the device, handing it to America. The smaller country takes it, typing in his password. He flinches, handing the phone to Russia. Russia takes it, looking at the screen. 2 years and you're still alone. Fucking whore. Rika, why haven't you blocked him? Russia asks softly. America looks away. He'd told Russia before about his 2 toxic exes. Russia had always hated them for how they treated America, despite never having met either. I don't know. I thought he might change, America says quietly. Rika, I don't think he will. Please, I don't want you to keep hurting because of him. Russia's voice is gentle. Can you do it? America asks quietly. Russia nods. He moves, deleting the message and blocking Brazil's contact before deleting it. He hands America his phone back, the smaller country huddling closer to him. You don't have to be alone anymore, America. Russia's voice lulls into America's ears. The smaller country looks up, confused. I really do love you, Rika. I wasn't just saying that. Russia says softly, resting his hand against America's cheek. America's eyes rim with tears once again. Really? He breathes. Really, you mean so much to me, America. You have no idea. I don't have enough words in any language to express how much I love you. America blushes brightly. Unable to stop himself, he leans up and kisses Russia. The taller country jumps a bit, but smiles against America's lips before kissing back. His hand rests on the nape of America's neck, so he doesn't strain himself, his other hand resting on America's waist. The 2 kiss, innocent and chaste, their eyes closed. America leans against Russia, wrapped in his embrace, feeling more loved than he had in a long time. The 2 break apart, America flushed red. Russia smiles softly, pressing a soft kiss against America's forehead. America? Yes? Will you be my boyfriend? America looks up at him, as if seeing Russia's eyes for the first time. They're beautiful, a warm amber color, like tea and syrup, reminding America of his own family. America breaks into a smile, wrapping his arms around Russia's neck and hugging him tightly. Yes, of course, he exclaims. Russia laughs warmly, hugging his friend, no, his lover, close. Russia had made a promise, and he had kept his word. He said he would never let America fall, and now, inside the arms of his lover, America felt like he could fly for the rest of his life, and never hit the ground. Russia would always be there to catch him.
Chapter 8.
A month after their official relationship started, Russia came to America with a giddy smile. America giggles. Babe, what's up? He asks. Russia grins. I have a surprise for you. he coos, holding out his hands, both closed into fists. "Pick one," he says excitedly, practically bouncing. America giggles, thinking to himself before tapping Russia's left hand. Russia turns his hand over, opening it up to reveal a folded piece of paper. America takes the paper, opening it. "Read it out!" Russia exclaims. America giggles again. "One fancy dinner at any restaurant of your choosing," America reads. He looks up, blushing brightly. "Oh, Russ, really?" "That's not all," Russia says with a smile, holding out his other hand. Another folded piece of paper. America takes it, opening his eyes. His eyes widen. "Go on, read it." "One ticket to Galaxy of the Stars." He looks up at Russia. "That's your skating show." "Not the ticket, dear." Russia smiles. "Look again." America does so, gasping and clasping a hand over his mouth. He squeals happily, rushing towards and hugging Russia tightly. "Lifetime passes?" he exclaims. Russia smiles, hugging him back. "Anything to keep moja malinka zvezda near me." He lifts America up, smiling when the smaller country wraps his legs around Russia's waist. The Russian roughly translates to, "My little star." America leans down and presses a happy kiss against his lips, breaking away with a giggle. "When is it?" he asks. "Tomorrow night. We'll go for dinner afterwards." Russia smiles, fluffing up America's hair. "Oh, what will I wear?" America blurts. "Anything. You'll look perfect no matter what," Russia says fondly, nuzzling America's neck. America giggles at the ticklish feeling of Russia's breath and hair on his neck. Russia smiles up at America, kissing his forehead with a soft smile. America giggles again, hugging his lover. "Who'll take care of Leah, though?" he asks. "I called one of my siblings, sent them my show schedule so they know to come over when I'm gone," Russia says, kissing America's cheek. The smaller country giggles again, wriggling in Russia's arms. "Russ, put me down. I need to pick out my outfit," he whines, pretending to pout. "We have a whole day before then. You don't need to rush," Russia murmurs fondly, nuzzling America's neck. America blushes bright red, the stars of his flag glowing slightly. Russia jumps, looking at him with surprise. "What?" America asks, confused. "Your stars glow?" Russia asks. America jumps a bit, touching his face. Wow. They haven't done that since I was little," America says quietly. "What does it mean?" Russia asks. It means I'm happy." America looks back at Russia, tears rimming his eyes. Really happy. Russia's confused expression morphs into one of pure love and happiness. "Moja pleskanca zvezda," he says softly, moving up. He kisses every one of America's stars, making them glow more as America's blush grows. Russia moves lower, kissing the star-like freckles on America's shoulders, visible through the low collar of his sweater. Once Russia has kissed every star he can see, he moves back up and presses a gentle kiss on America's lips, the smaller country sighing into the kiss, hugging Russia tightly. Russia pulls away after a moment, smiling softly. "I love you," he says warmly. America blushes, moving down and resting his hand on Russia's shoulder, nuzzling into the curve of Russia's neck. "I love you too," he says softly, hugging his lover tight. Russia smiles, rubbing America's back, his mind drifting back to the past month of their relationship. After the day they'd gotten together, Russia had moved out of his apartment and into America's 2-bedroom house. Yaya, or Leah as America had come to call her, had adjusted easily, enjoying the bigger house more than the apartment. The two were so happy, cuddling and cooking and singing every chance they got. And yes, America sometimes had bad days where he begged Russia to take off work and stay with him so he didn't cry his eyes out, and Russia always stayed. America's health meant more to Russia than anything in his life, and he knew his job was steady so he could take time off whenever he wanted. America sighs happily, jolting Russia from his thoughts, making the Slav smile slightly. "You're so handsome," Russia murmurs, making America blush, his stars flickering. "Russ, quit that," he mumbles. "You're a great listener. It's amazing how hard you work. I love the way you are. I'm lucky to even have you. You have such a good heart. Your smile makes me melt. You mean so much to me." Russia punctuates every sentence with a kiss, making America slowly get redder and redder, melting into Russia's arms. Russia smiles, sitting on the couch with America in his arms, lounging back. America sprawls over his chest, nuzzling into Russia's neck. Russia smiles, his hands drifting to rest on the waistband of America's shorts, where the hem of his sweater sits. "May I?" he asks softly. America blushes and nods. Russia's gentle hands drift up America's sweater, his palms gliding over America's sides, tracing little hearts over his white skin. America bites his lip, shivering occasionally when Russia touches a scar or sensitive spot. The two did this at least once a day, as America was heartbreakingly self-conscious of his body. Before they'd began to live together, America was horribly thin, barely eating anything. Their first cuddle together, Russia could feel America's bones. Immediately, Russia had begun to require America to eat a certain amount every day, gradually giving him more and more as he got more and more comfortable. Now, America had a healthy weight, and encouragement from Russia had helped him get more comfortable with that. There were still sensitive moments, especially when it came to cuts and scars, but Russia helped him get past it. Russia's hands are gentle as they brush over the old bruises and cuts on America's sides, but he stops when America's breath hitches slightly. "Can I look?" Russia asks softly, meeting America's eyes. The smaller country hesitates before nodding quietly. The two shift, so America is now sitting on Russia's lap instead of laying on his chest. Russia gently moves the sweater to find where his hand had stopped, looking at the scar there. It's small, looking like a cigarette burn, in between America's bottom left ribs. It's one of the older scars, healed over so it's no longer painful, but still obviously rougher and more damaged than the surrounding skin. "Do you want to talk about it?" Russia asks softly, looking back up at America. The Westerner hesitates before nodding and taking a deep breath. Brazil used to get drunk a lot. He would smoke after every bottle, one of his country's brands. I remember they used to smell like car exhaust or hot pavement. I always hated how his apartment smelled like them. I mentioned that to him one day. He got mad and put his cigarette out on me. America's shoulders tensed. I told him to stop, that it hurt, but he told me it was my fault. I never complained after that. Not for the cigarettes. Russia gently brushes America's hair from his face, his thumbs catching the tears that had formed in America's eyes. "You know the truth, though, right?" he asks softly. America hesitates before nodding, leaning into Russia's touch. It wasn't my fault. Brazil was wrong, and I'm safe here with you. He moves and hides his face in Russia's neck. And you'll never hurt me like him and Poland did, he says quietly. Russia smiles softly, wrapping his arms around America and hugging him tenderly. America takes a deep breath, doing as Russia taught him, letting the memory swell up before replacing it with one of him and Russia, letting Brazil fade away. America hugs back, a slight smile crossing his face when Russia kisses his forehead. Are you hungry? Russia asks softly. America's mind immediately demands for him to respond with no, but he pushes that away. He focuses on how he feels before nodding. Only a little, he says truthfully. Russia smiles softly, giving him a soft kiss on the lips. Shall we go make a snack? Cookies? America grins in excitement, making Russia chuckles. If you wish, he responds. America bounces, giggling happily. This was love.
Chapter 9.
The next day, America stands in front of the mirror, dressed in a form-fitting blue sweater, black jeans, and a loose-fitting gray jacket. He jumps when someone honks outside, grabbing his bag and jogging to the door. He slips on his shoes and opens the door, smiling when he sees Russia beside the car. Russia is wearing a loose jacket and sweater with jeans, a duffel bag over his shoulder. America jogs down the porch and over to Russia, hugging him. Are you ready? He asks. America nods happily, smiling. Russia kisses his forehead, opening the car door and letting America in. Russia gets in beside him, closing the door. He says something to the driver in Russian, and the car pulls out of the driveway and they start off. America bounces in excitement, making Russia chuckle. It's not that interesting, dear, he says softly. Of course it is. I get to see you doing what you love, America exclaims, bouncing still. Russia blushes softly, chuckling. The two cuddle and chat through the car ride when they start seeing the stadium come into view. Russia taps America's shoulder. We're going to drop you off at the back entrance, okay? He says softly. America looks up at him, confused. What? Why? He asks, hurt in his voice. Russia gently takes his hands. I don't want you to get overwhelmed by the cameras and reporters in the beginning. It's safer for you. I've never been in a relationship, so if you walk in with me, all the reporters would become even more insistent. He says softly. America relaxes and nods quietly. All right, how do I get in? He asks. Russia smiles softly, reaching into his bag. He pulls out a small pass on a lanyard, handing it to him. Show this to the guard at the back. He'll escort you to my private box. After the show, he can also escort you to my locker room if you want. He smiles softly. America puts the lanyard around his neck, cuddling close. Thank you, he says quietly. Russia smiles, kissing his forehead. What for, my Linky? For doing all this for me. He cuddles closer. Russia's smile grows, kissing his forehead again. The two remain in silence, wrapped up in each other's arms, contented and warm. The driver pulls up through the back road, slowing the car to a stop by the back entrance. America hugs Russia before picking up his bag and opening the door. See you after the show, moya Lubov. Russia says with a smile, moving over to the window. See you then, America chirps. Russia beckons for him to lean down, kissing him on the lips when he does. America giggles, kissing him back. Stay warm, Russia says softly, leaning back into the car. You too, America smiles, waving as Russia's car drives away. He takes a deep breath, holding on to the lanyard as he walks towards the back entrance. Hold it right there, sir. You're not supposed to be back here, the guard at the door says flatly, looking down at America. I have a pass, America stammers, fumbling a bit to show him the lanyard. The guard's posture changes. My apologies, sir. I didn't know Russia had another guest. Right this way, please. He opens the door and leads America in. Another? America thinks to himself, confused. He doesn't ask, though, following the broad-shouldered guard, keeping close so he doesn't get lost. The arena is huge. The walls are covered with projections to look like the depths of a galaxy. Planets and comets hanging from the ceiling. Huge screens are suspended above the seats, flashing with advertisements. The seats were slowly filling up, an excited murmur droning around the domed building. A Zamboni was cruising over the ice to ensure a smooth surface for Russia to skate on, its drone muted behind the walls of plastic around the rink. The guard leads America to a private box right by the ice. The front opened up to the chilly air. He opens the door on the side to reveal a room with 14 plush seats, one of which is already taken. Here you are, sir. Thank you. Of course. If you need anything, I'm just outside of the door. The guard closes the door once America stepped in. The other person turns, and America jumps in surprise when he recognizes him. Germany? America? The two speak at the same time, silent for a beat before bursting into laughter. Oh my God, I haven't seen you in forever! America exclaims, eagerly taking a hug when Germany offered to sit. The two embrace, Germany still laughing. They pull apart, Germany fixing his glasses. It's certainly been a while, yeah? Germany grins, his sharp teeth shining as always, reminding America of Russia's smile. What are you doing here? America asks as they both sit down beside each other. I always come to Russia's shows. I bought a lifetime pass a few years after he started. What about you? America blushes, which Germany catches immediately. His grin widens. Oh, got a secret? Well, technically, yeah. America blushes more. Can I get to know? Germany asks. America hesitates, beckoning Germany over. Russia and I are together? He whispers. 9! Really? He asks. America blushes more, giggling at Germany's happy response. Yeah, been together about a month now. He bought me a lifetime pass yesterday, and he's taking me out for dinner tonight after the show. Aw, that's adorable. I'm so happy for you two. Germany smiles happily. I'd always wondered when he'd get someone. I'm glad it's you. America smiles. Thank you, Ger. Really. Germany nods happily, and the two chat until the show starts. The lights above the stands dim, so only the stars glow. A spotlight flashes on, and Russia is suddenly in the center of the ice. He's gorgeous. dressed in the same navy and white leotard as he'd been when he and America had practiced the first time, with the small cropped jacket atop it, like a band player's jacket, lined with silver snowflakes. The audience immediately cheers, clapping and whistling. Russia bows slightly, taking a mic from a side hand on skates. He waits for the crowd to quiet down, which they do quickly. "Good evening, ladies, gentlemen, and everyone in between." His voice is strong, echoing around the arena. The crowd is in a hush, listening to him in a complete silence. America blushes. That's his lover out there, demanding everyone's attention, gaining all of their respect. God, America loved him. "I want to thank you all for coming out here tonight. Your attendance means a lot to me, and I am forever grateful for you all." A soft cheer echoes through the stands, quickly dying down so he can speak again. "For those of you who have attended before, please excuse the usual speech. For those of you who haven't, here's how this works. I will perform a total of 3 acts. Each is dedicated to a person or group whom I announce at the beginning of the act. An intermission is held between the second and third act to allow you all to gather whatever food or drink you need. Among other things, thank you for your time, and enjoy the show." Russia shifts, ready to start skating. The side hand returns to take the mic when he has finished. "This first act is dedicated to a special someone in the crowd." Germany shakes America's arms, whispering, "That's you!" making America blush. "Someone who means a lot to me." Russia's slight smile graces the screens above the rink. "Always and forever." He hands the mic to the side hand, taking a deep breath. America covers his mouth when their song starts playing. A classical song, one Russia had introduced him to, by someone called Chopin. Before they'd started dating, America had rarely listened to classical music. But since they'd gotten together, any hint of violin or piano made him remember Russia. Russia begins to skate, dancing slowly over the ice. As the song picks up speed, so does he, the spotlight following his every move, the cameras watching him with the eyes of the audience. The entire stands are silent, ripples of clapping bursting forth with every jump and twirl. Russia doesn't seem to hear any of it, dancing without a care in the world. The cameras follow him as he circles the ice. They follow him as he glides toward the private box. They follow him as his eyes open and he smiles. They follow him as he leans in and kisses America through the open window. The crowd erupts into applause as the two kiss. America's face is flushed on every screen as Russia pulls away. Russia winks at him before skating backwards into the center and bowing as the song ends. The entire arena rings with cheers as the audience stands, cheering and clapping. The side hand skates back, handing Russia the mic, which he thanks them for. He clears his throat, the crowd falling silent. "Well, I'm certainly looking forward to seeing that blow up on Twitter." Everyone laughs. "Now, this next act..." And the night goes on. Everyone loves Russia's acts, cheering endlessly for him. After the final act, Russia bows and skates off the rink to applause. Everyone cheering after him. Slowly but surely, the crowd empties out. America looks over to see Germany gathering up his few things. "Are you going to see Russia?" he asks, looking up at the star-spangled country. "Yeah, 100%. America smiles, slipping his jacket back on and picking up his bag. Germany smiles, slipping his suit jacket back on. "Shall we then?" he asks. America giggles as Germany hooks his arm around America's like they did when they used to date, stepping out of the room. "Sirs," the guard says respectfully. "We'd like to see Russland," Germany says. The guard nods. "Follow me, please." He turns and leads the two through the thinning crowd towards a locked door. He swipes his card, unlocking the door. He lets the two in, closing the door behind them. Russia looks over with a warm smile, his normal clothes already back on, his leotard folded on the couch beside him. America lets go of Germany and rushes over, hugging Russia tightly. The taller country chuckles warmly, hugging him back. "Sorry to embarrass you like that in the middle of my show, but I couldn't help myself," he says. America giggles. "It's okay, I don't mind. It was fun," he says softly. The two embrace, Russia leaning down to kiss his forehead for a moment. Russia looks over at Germany and breaks into a grin. Moving over, the two exchange words in German, hug for a moment before performing some complicated handshake. It's not until they look over at America that they realize some part of the story is missing. "What was that?" America asks. Germany shrugs. "You can't expect two brothers not to have a secret handshake," he says plainly. America blinks. "Brothers?" he asks. Germany looks at Russia. "You never told him?" "It never came up. Ow!" Russia rubs the back of his head where Germany had jumped up and hit him. "What kind of boyfriend doesn't talk about his family?" Germany exclaims. "We were busy with other things," Russia protests. Germany rolls his eyes, and Russia's usually professional demeanor drops as he sticks out his tongue at his brother. America giggles. "Don't encourage him," Russia grumbles, messing up Germany's hair and making the Aryan yelp. "Asshole," he huffs, fixing his black hair. "Language," Russia teases. The two bicker for a moment before rolling their eyes and laughing. Russia goes back to America, lifting him up and kissing him for a moment. When the two pull apart, Russia chuckles at America's flushed expression. The smaller country buries his face into Russia's neck. "So, how are you planning to deal with the paparazzi outside?" Germany asks. "Answer a few questions, get in the car, and leave. If anyone touches America, threaten their lives." Russia shrugs plainly. "I'll help you hide the bodies," Germany says with a grin. "Quit talking in German, I can't understand," America whines, making the other two countries laugh. "Such a cute little bear cub," Russia purrs, kissing America's cheek, making him mule in embarrassment. Germany giggles, smiling at the two. "You two are perfect for each other." Russia smiles. "Oh, that reminds me. Have you gotten any letters from Dad?" he asks. Germany shakes his head. "Apart from the birthday invitation, no, and that was last week." Russia frowns. "Then I have to send them one." Germany nods. "Good idea." "Russie, I'm hungry," America whines, nuzzling against Russia's neck like a cat. Russia smiles, his anxiousness disappearing. "Then dinner you shall have. Yes?" He kisses America's cheek, making the smaller country giggle. Russia looks at Germany. "Thank you for coming. It was nice to see you again. Hope to see you at Dad's birthday," he says. Germany nods. "I'll be there. See you around." He smiles, waving before he leaves. Russia gently sends America down, kissing his cheek. I need to finish packing up. Then we can go, okay? Okay. America giggles and smiles. As Russia packs up, America feels his phone buzz. He takes it out, answering it when he sees Canada's name. Hello?
I told you he liked you!
Canada crows, almost making America drop his phone. What? I don't know what you're talking about, America says slowly.
Dude, it was only broadcasted on every ice skating channel ever. Everyone saw him kiss you.
Canada exclaims. America blushes. Oh, so that's what you were talking about. He giggles. How long have you two been together? Canada asks. A month or so, America says with a smile.
And you didn't tell me?
I wanted it to be a surprise, America protests. Bro, you know, Mum and the others will be freaking out over this, Canada points out. Okay, was I the only one who didn't watch Russia on TV? America asks. Pretty much, yeah. Ozzy didn't usually watch unless Kiwi made him, so it wasn't just you. Canada's grin is audible in his voice. America groans, his head flopping back onto the couch.
So, have y'all done anything?
Canada teases. America blushes bright red. Oh my god, shut up! No, we haven't. We've been together for a month. He exclaims. Russia looks over at him curiously. Sure. Canada laughs. Shut up, Nada! America groans. Nope. I'm hanging up now. Y'all stay safe, Canada teases. America blushes again, hanging up. Russia chuckles at his red face. Everything all right there? He asks. I forgot how popular you were, America grumbles. Russia goes over to him, lifting him up like one would pick up a cat. Painfully so, he says softly, kissing America's forehead. You really don't mind, right? He asks. America smiles, hugging him. Not at all. Russia smiles, setting America down gently, picking up his duffel bag. America reaches up and intertwines their hands together, leaning against Russia's arms. Shall we then? Russia says with a soft smile. America takes a deep breath and nods. The two step out of the room, immediately surrounded by Russia's 4 guards. They're escorted to the main door and led out into the sea of cameras and mics. Dozens of reporters practically climb over each other, shouting in various languages. A sea of fans yell over themselves to try and catch Russia's attention. He says nothing, save a few words to some of the reporters, keeping America close by his side as the guards escort them to the car. One reporter manages to get his way through, saying something in Russian. America only catches his own name, but whatever the man had said must have been bad, because Russia's eyes flash, and he snaps a response before his guard pushes the man away. A few eternities later, they make it to the car, the door slamming behind Russia and muting the reporters. Russia sighs, brushing off his sleeve. America immediately moves to his side as the car starts, driving off at Russia's beckoning. Russia gently strokes America's hair, comforting the overwhelmed country. You have to deal with that every day? America asks quietly. Russia sighs again. Yes, unfortunately. One of the less pretty parts of being a professional skater, he says softly. America wilts a bit, curling closer to Russia. The Slav gently pulls the smaller country into his lap, pressing soft kisses against his cheek and jaw. "Doesn't it make you sad or angry?" America asks, blushing with each kiss. "Sometimes, yes, but it gives me money to support my family, to support you, and that's all that matters to me," he says softly, brushing America's hair from his face. America blushes, leaning into his touch. The two remain in each other's arms as they're driven to the restaurant America had chosen the night before. Russia smiles softly when they arrive, the car slowing to a stop. America looks up, yawning a bit. "Are we here?" he asks. Russia chuckles, kissing his cheek. "Indeed we are. Come, I get to spoil you tonight." The taller country smiles, making America blush. The two step out of the car, Russia gently guiding America to the door. The waiter lets them in, greeting them in French before speaking in English. "Welcome to the Blue Moon Cafe. How may I help you?" "Table for two, reserved under Russian Federation," Russia says smoothly. The waiter nods, turning and guiding them through the tables. The restaurant is packed, each table bubbling with conversation. They're led into a private room, two waiters pulling their chairs out for them. "Can we get you started with any drinks?" one asks. "Just a water for me, merci," America says with a smile. That means thank you in French. "I'll have the same," Russia nods. "All right, we'll have that out to you in a moment. Ring the bell when you're ready to order." The waiters leave, shutting the door behind them. America giggles. "Russian Federation, huh?" he teases. Russia's cheeks redden a bit as he glances away. "It's my legal name. I use it on all formal things," he says, embarrassed. "Hey, at least yours sounds cool. Mine is United States of America. Long and boring." America giggles. Russia smiles slightly. "Not fitting at all. You're short and interesting," he teases back. "You're gorgeous, you know that," he says softly, aching to reach over the table and pull America into his arms and never let go. America blushes brightly, his giggling transforming into an embarrassed stutter. "Why do you say that?" he asks. "Why wouldn't I? You're handsome, soft, you have beautiful eyes, you make the cutest little noise when you get excited, your giggle is adorable, you have the kindest heart I have ever seen, your personality is wonderful, and I can't help falling more in love with you every day." Russia's voice is kind and truthful, his amber eyes filled with love and care. America blushes brightly. "Russie, you're gonna make me melt." He whines, doing his best to pretend he's not flustered beyond measure. Russia chuckles, taking America's hand and kissing his knuckles. The two spend the rest of the evening chatting over dinner. Something pokes at the back of America's mind, though. They're in the car when he looks up at Russia, whose eyes are out the window, his hand gently stroking America's hair. "Russie?" America asks quietly, peeking out of the folds of Russia's jacket. The Slav looks down at him with a soft smile. "Da?" he responds. "What did that reporter say that made you so mad?" Russia's smile wavers. "Please, I heard my name. I don't want you to keep thinking about it," America says quietly, taking Russia's hand. The taller country sighs, running his thumb over America's knuckles. "He asked me whether I believed the rumors that you only dated rich people to sleep with them and get their money," he mutters. America wilts a bit. Oh, he says quietly. Russia moves, pulling America into his arms. Hey, it's all right. I don't believe any of the rumors. I never will, he says softly, rubbing the small country's back. America takes a deep breath. The news is gonna be blowing up because of us, isn't it? He says quietly.
Probably, but you know what?
What?
I don't care what they say. I love you more than anything, and I always will.
Russia presses a gentle kiss against America's cheek, making the smaller blush brightly. America mules, burying his face against Russia's neck. The Slav chuckles, letting America snuggle up against him, humming softly. America slowly begins to fall asleep in his lover's arms, eased into rest by the drone of the car and the steady beat of Russia's heart.
Chapter 10.
Russia often spoke of his family. He'd already met all of America's family. They'd done a significant amount of freaking out and had enjoyed embarrassing his lover the whole dinner. America had yet to meet Russia's family. He knew a lot about them. He knew that Russia had one older brother, Estonia, and 15 younger siblings, most of which were adopted. He also knew that Russia was the tallest of all his siblings, almost taller than his father. He knew Russia's father was so old-fashioned and he only wrote letters, unable to fully grasp the concept of a phone. Russia had often sent him text messages, but Soviet only responded with letters that he paid extra to have delivered as priority mail. Recently, Soviet's letters had become more worried. Something seemed to be going on at home, and Russia was beginning to reflect that worry. Finally, it became too much for America. It was 2 months after the show. Ruz, please, you keep checking your phone and pacing back and forth. What's wrong? He sits in their bed, watching Russia tap nervously on the bathroom counter. We may need to take an early vacation, he says slowly. Russia, please, what are you talking about? America asks. Russia takes a deep breath. My Vati has a checkered past. He had some trauma when he was younger, and it still hurts him, Russia says slowly. What do you mean? He had the breakdown. He has them sometimes. His past actions come back to haunt him, and he blames himself. He sometimes tries to kill himself. He didn't this time, but... Is he alright? Just shaken. He needs some time to recover, and Papa has to be there to help him, since my older brother doesn't live with them anymore. Him and Vati are the only ones who can take care of the little ones, and when they're both preoccupied, they need help. So I'm going to go over and help him with the kids and Vati. You don't have to come over, it's... But I'm gonna. America cuts in. They're your family. They matter to me too. Russia smiles lightly. Well, you alright with packing a bag? I'd like to head out as soon as possible. Got you covered. America smiles and gets up, going over. He hugs Russia tightly, smiling brightly at him. They both pack together, giggling and laughing to keep calm. Within an hour, they're both in the car, driving to the airport. We'll stop at my brother's house before heading there. I haven't seen him in a while. Works for me. America smiles. Russia chuckles, leaning over and kissing his cheek. A few hours later, they're at the airport and boarding Russia's private plane, escorted past the bustling crowds and startled fans that swarmed him. Russia is watching nervously out the window, tapping his knee as the plane takes off. Once they get past the initial turbulence, America gently takes his hand. "Hey, why don't you tell me about your dad? That always makes me feel better," he offers with a soft smile. He's crazy patient with everyone. No matter how repetitive someone is, he'll listen intently and answer calmly. I remember when I was younger, he'd listen every day when I would babble on and on about the newest skates or tricks I was trying out. I would repeat the same things 3 times in 2 sentences, and he'd just nod and let me keep going. He's really good with my Vati too, affirming that he loves him and helping him pass the flashbacks. Russia's voice is quiet, eyes still out the window. "What's your other dad like?" America asks. Russia hesitates. He's quiet. His dad died when he was young, a few years before the Second World War. He was only a teenager, and Dad was all he had left. Everything was thrown onto him at once, and he kind of broke. No one remembers how he used to be, how kind and shy he was. They remember the broken version, the one that hurt people without caring, the one that wanted the whole world at his feet. The end of the war was so hard on him. He wanted the Allies to kill him. At that, a slight frown crosses America's face. The Allies had only ever been asked to kill one country, but Russia keeps talking, a bit distracted. Papa was able to stop him and help him back to normal. He went through a lot of therapy with Switzerland and takes medicine to help keep his mind in line. He hasn't had a breakdown in a while. I'm worried. Who is he? His name, I mean, America asks. Russia hesitates again. You'll remember him as the Third Reich, he says slowly, his hands shifting beneath America's. The smaller country freezes slightly. What? Yeah, that's why I didn't want to tell you, Russia says quietly. So, you're saying... Wait, hold on. America is confused. Russia sighs, his hand tapping on his knee again. The Reich was his broken part, an alternate personality of his, I guess. It was fed by his anger and despair. It locked away his true personality for the entirety of the war. Papa stayed because he knew the Allies wouldn't agree to anything unless he had a reason to go against Reich. He didn't leave because Reich broke the treaty. He left because Reich threatened to get rid of us. The kids, I mean. When the war ended, Reich did too. But Vati was scared of what he'd done. He was sure no one would ever believe the truth. Russia glances away. He doesn't know if America believes him. God, that must have been terrible for him, America says quietly. It was hard, yeah, Russia says softly. America frowns. Do you think they'll be okay with us? He asks quietly. Of course they will, Russia says gently, taking his hand and looking at him. They'll love you, I'm sure of it. America smiles slightly, leaning over and hugging his lover. I believe you.
Chapter 11.
It's nighttime by the time they touch down. the plane easing to a stop. Russia and America get out, taking their luggage and stepping into their private cab, and driving off before anyone noticed them. They soon arrived at Russia's brother's house. Stepping out. The front door opens almost immediately, a short country running out with a happy squeal, wrapping their arms around Russia. The Slav laughs, hugging them back. "Russie, it's been forever!" The smaller country exclaims, looking up at him. America assumes this is Russia's brother, Estonia, given the similarity of their flags. "We saw each other last year, Nia, at Vati's birthday, remember?" "Yeah, and now I get to see you twice in 1 year," Estonia exclaims. Russia chuckles again, ruffling his brother's hair. "We're just staying the night, Nia. We need to go see how Vati is doing, but we'll see you again at the party." Estonia perks up. "We?" He looks around, his eyes landing on America. "Aw, you're adorable! Who are you?" he exclaims. America blushes, stammering. It was funny. Despite the fact that Estonia was considerably shorter than Russia, he was still taller than America. America was nervous to see how tall the rest of Russia's family was. "This is America, my boyfriend." Russia's warm voice jolts America from his thoughts. He blushes even more at the possessive term. "Aw, really?" Estonia coos, going over. He examines America. "Oh, Russie, he's so skinny. Aren't you feeding him?" Russia chuckles, gently pushing Estonia away. "Every day, Nia. And what about you? Where's your husband?" "Right here." A tired and gruff voice rings through the doorway, drawing everyone's attention. Another country stands there, dressed in loose pajamas, his white and blue hair messy. "Fanny, don't be grumpy!" Estonia giggles. His husband shakes his head, walking down the stairs. He nods at America. "Finland, nice to see you," he says flatly. Russia chuckles. "Don't let that cold voice scare you. He's softer than bread, though," he says teasingly. Finland rolls his eyes, accepting the half-hug Russia offers. "Good to see you again, brother." "And you." America watches the three with a smile, but he can't help but yawn. Russia notices and goes over, lifting America into his arms like a kitten. America blushes. "Russ, not in front of your brother," he mewls. Russia chuckles, kissing his cheek before looking at the other two. "I'm going to get this kitten to bed. Which room do you want us to use?" "Same as usual," Estonia chirps. "You need anything?" Finland says teasingly. Russia rolls his eyes, responding in teasing Russian. Finland chuckles, following them in with Estonia. Russia carries them to the room, laying on the bed. He leans down and kisses America's forehead as he shuts the door. He slips both of their shoes off, laying beside America. The smaller country cuddles close to the taller's chest, sighing happily. "You and Finland get along?" he mumbles, rather tired. "I'd say so, yes, despite the fact that we're rivals in public," Russia murmurs softly. "Huh?" "He's another top skater. We jump back and forth and rate things. Everyone thinks we despise each other, not knowing that we're family." Russia kisses America's forehead. "Oh, cool." America yawns. Russia chuckles. "Go on to sleep, love. We'll leave after breakfast tomorrow, okay?" America snuggles close, yawning again. Russia smiles, covering the two of them in a blanket. America soon slips off into peaceful dreams.
Chapter 12.
After breakfast the next morning, Russia calls a cab to drive him and America to his father's house. America's pretty nervous. He's about to meet his boyfriend's imposing father, so he keeps glancing at the time and out the window. Russia smiles softly, taking his hand. Hey, it'll be okay. Papa and Vati will love you, I'm sure of it, he says gently. America smiles faintly. Thanks, I really hope they do. They will. Neither of them hold strong grudges. If they hold grudges at all, Russia says softly. America's smile grows a bit. He moves, wrapping his arms around Russia's, resting his head on the Slav's shoulder. Russia smiles gently, leaning down and kissing America's forehead. An hour or so later, the cab pulls into a gravel driveway, stopping before a large cabin-style house. It's just short of being a mansion, with huge windows and gorgeous garden beds. A few younger children are playing in the yard, but they stop when the cab comes in. Russia smiles at America. Come on, love, let's go, he says softly. America blushes and nods, following Russia out of the car. The young countries squeal happily and run over, jumping up into Russia's arms. Russia laughs, hugging each child, kissing their foreheads and answering them in their native languages. Once they've all gotten over his existence, they stop and stare at America, who blushes. One of them, with a blue flag and golden wings, points at America and looks up at Russia. They ask something in their native language, making Russia laugh again. What did they say? America asks curiously. He asked who the pretty boy with stars was, Russia says with a smile, chuckling when America blushes. Russia looks down at the winged country, answering in the same language. All of the children gasp, looking between the two in surprise. Russia chuckles again, saying something in Russian. Each child nods, giggling as they all run inside. Russia smiles, going over to America and kissing his cheek. They're going to get my sister, Belarus. She'll show you to our room while I go check on my parents, okay? Alright. What did you tell the kids? America asks. I told them you were my boyfriend and that I loved you with all my heart, Russia murmurs. America blushes bright red, stammering in surprise. He moves, hugging Russia tightly, making the taller country chuckle. The front door opens again, a younger country standing there with a kind smile. Russia leans down and kisses America's forehead. Don't let Bella freak you out. She sees the future, so she thinks she knows you even though this is your first time meeting. She tends to lose track of reality sometimes. I can hear you, Belarus calls from the porch, making Russia chuckle. America giggles, smiling as he takes their luggage. See you in a bit, he says hopefully. See you in a bit, Maya Lobov, Russia murmurs. He follows America inside, watching Belarus lead him happily down the hall. The Slav takes in a deep breath and heads to his parents' room, knocking gently on the door. America walks down the hall with Belarus, eyes skipping over the photos on the walls. You're much shorter than I expected, Belarus says unprompted. America jumps. Excuse me? He asks. You're shorter than some of you. You're often as tall as me. Her blank gray eyes are unnerving as they shift with flickers of blue. America shifts awkwardly. Belarus giggles. Did Russia not warn you in this timeline? How irresponsible of him. She smiles. America's mind clicks into place. Oh, right, visions, he says. Belarus giggles again. That's correct. Much faster than the usual. Congratulations. Thanks. America pauses for a moment. What's it like, seeing all that? Belarus tilts her head, thinking. Dizzying. Everything is hard to distinguish. I feel like I've said this sentence 100 times over, and when you respond, I'll hear 100 different answers from one of your alternates. Painful sometimes. When I can't tell people what they need to know. Her eyes glint slightly, sharp gray and pale blue. They fade to blue, staying that way for a while. She smiles, knowing and kind. But either way, it's what I am, and I'll always be. That seems stressful, seeing everything at once. You seem to be doing a lot better than anyone else would, though. Belarus's smile widens. Thank you. I have a lot of help from my family. I don't know what I would do without them. She looks back down the hall as they walk, her smile still on her face. America takes this moment to get a proper look at her. Belarus looks nothing like Russia, save from the fact that they're both tall. She's built much softer than her older brother. More round curves than hard edges. Her red hair has a streak of white in it, reaching down her waist in gentle waves. Her clothing style is much more casual, with sweatpants and a loose sweater. A white scarf is wrapped around her neck, a red diamond pattern running horizontally over it. Much like Russia, she has a few scars along her jaw and eyebrows, likely from childhood falls. They stop at a door, Belarus turning to face him. She smiles down at him. This is Russia's old room. You two will be staying here for your visit. You can drop off your bags and look around the house, or stay in the room, whichever you prefer, she says with a smile. America smiles back. Thanks, I'll probably chill in here for a bit, if that's okay. Perfectly fine, Belarus giggles. Russia will probably be here soon, so you can unpack if you like. All right, thank you. America smiles. See you for dinner, Belarus chirps, before walking back down the hall. America moves and opens the door, looking around. The room is slightly smaller than expected, given the huge size of the house, and it looks almost untouched. A bed sits against the right wall, a window in the center of the wall behind it. It is covered by thick black curtains. A wardrobe and dresser sit by the left wall on either side of an open door that leads to a pristine and white bathroom. The hardwood floor is softened by a plush white carpet, and a desk sits below the window. A thin layer of dust lines the wardrobe and the desk, though the dresser seems well cleaned. America moves into the room, setting their bags down by the wardrobe and looking around. He can tell that Russia has rarely ever been in this room. There's no pictures of his family, and the room has a kind of empty scent, as opposed to Russia's usual warm scent of pine, smoke, and snow. He doesn't have much time to look around, though, because Russia comes through the doorway. America looks back at him with a smile, but it wavers when he sees the concern on Russia's face. Is everything okay? He asks. Can you come to the living room? My parents want to meet you, Russia says quietly.
Chapter 13.
15 minutes earlier. After watching America go down the hall with Belarus, Russia takes a deep breath and heads to his parents' room, gently knocking on the door. Come in. Soviet's voice is quiet, just barely loud enough to be heard. Russia turns the knob, stepping in. The lights are off and the curtains are closed, so the room is dark, save the light of a dim lamp glowing in his dad's eyes. His father's orange eyes shift, looking over at him, while his dad's gray ones remain lower. Russia makes his way across the room, stepping beside them. "Hey, Papa. Hey, Vati," he says softly. Soviet offers him a weak smile. "Hello, moja zjebsta," he replies, looking down at the smaller man, gently fixing his hair. "Weimar, look who's early," he says softly. Russia's dad looks up tiredly, sniffling a bit. He can't help a relieved smile when he sees Russia, though. "Russland," he mumbles hoarsely. Russia smiles, kneeling down and hugging him. "Hey, Vati," he says quietly, his heart breaking when he notices how tight Weimar is hugging him. "Hey, it's okay, I'm here," he says gently, rubbing Weimar's back. Weimar takes a shaky breath, but doesn't let go, staying quiet. Russia glances at Soviet. "How bad was it?" he asks quietly. "Very bad. He couldn't sleep for days," Soviet responds, looking at his husband sadly. "Reich again?" Russia asks. Soviet nods. Russia moves, looking at Weimar. "Vati, are you still taking your medicine?" he asks softly. Weimar hesitates, his eyes lowering again. "Nine," he says quietly. "Why not?" Russia's voice is still gentle, trying to make it as obvious as possible he and Soviet aren't mad. But Weimar still flinches. I thought I didn't need them anymore. I thought I would be okay," he says quietly, shrinking in on himself. I am sorry." "Moja Lvov, it's okay," Soviet says gently, tilting Weimar's head up to look at him. "You know neither of us are mad at you." "He's right, we're not mad at you. We just want to be sure that you're taking care of yourself. Those pills are meant to help you, remember?" Russia says gently. But what if he comes back anyway? You two will have wasted all this money for nothing." Weimar stammers, tears rimming his eyes. Soviet takes Weimar's hand in his. "I would spend every cent I have for you without hesitation. You know that, and nothing would ever change that. Least of all him," he says softly. "And the same goes for me," Russia offers with a warm smile. Weimar can't help a trembling smile, sniffling. Soviet moves, gently pulling his husband close, the smaller male starting to cry into his chest. Soviet rubs his back, comforting him and letting him cry, peppering kisses on his cheeks and forehead. Russia watches the two. This was where he learned how to love. This warm, kind, full-hearted love was what he'd grown up with for practically his whole life. He didn't remember his mother. She died soon after he was born, and he only had vague memories of his siblings' mothers. Soviet had been through many marriages. All had ended soon after they began, except for him and Weimar. They had been together almost as long as Russia had been alive, and their love was the most real thing Russia had ever seen. The only thing Russia could compare it to was his and America's. The way he loved America was similar to how Soviet loved Weimar, a selfless, protective, mind-conquering love. "Russia," Soviet's voice jolts Russia out of his thoughts. Sorry, I got lost." Russia flushes in embarrassment. Weimar has calmed down and has dried his face, so both men are looking at Russia with mild confusion. "Are you all right?" Soviet asks. "No, I'm fine," Russia says quickly. Soviet and Weimar raise an eyebrow in suspicion. You're hiding something, Weimar says plainly, his gray eyes so similar to Belarus's.
No?
Russia says, slowly glancing away. Now wasn't the best time to talk about America, given that his lover had been at war with his dad's alter ego for 6 years. Talking about him directly after the end of a mental breakdown didn't seem like the wisest decision. Russia, Soviet says flatly.
Really, it's nothing.
He's in love, Weimar interrupts. Both Russia and Soviet blink in surprise, looking at him.
What?
Soviet asks. He's blushing, his pupils are dilated, and his heart rate sped up while he was lost, so he was likely thinking of someone. When we asked what was going on, he blushed more and began fiddling with his jacket sleeves, something he only does when he's embarrassed. Weimar says plainly, shrugging. Russia immediately lets go of his sleeve. He never realized he did that. Soviet chuckles, kissing Weimar's cheek.
Well, who's the lucky country?
Soviet asks. Russia hesitates, fighting the urge to tug on his sleeve again.
America,
he says slowly. Weimar blinks.
Pardon?
Soviet asks.
Yeah, I didn't want to drop this on you two so suddenly.
Russia says slowly.
America, the Westerner.
Soviet asks.
That's the one.
Russia nods. His parents are silent for a moment, causing the anxiety to seize up in his chest. Is he good to you? Weimar asks, and Russia's worry disappears.
He is, yes.
You care about him?
More than anything.
How long have you been with him?
About 3 months. We were friends for a while before then.
Did you bring him with you?
Yes,
Russia says hesitantly. Can we see him? Russia hesitates again. Weimar smiles comfortingly. I won't let Soviet intimidate him, don't worry, he says. Soviet laughs warmly, kissing his husband's cheek. Russia smiles again.
Okay, in the living room?
He asks.
Sure, we'll be there,
Weimar says happily. Russia smiles slightly, hugging them both.
Thank you, really, this means a lot to me,
he says softly. He can feel both of them smile as they hug him back. He pulls away, taking a deep breath.
I'll go get him then.
He smiles a bit before turning and leaving the room to go get America. Present time. America blinks.
What?
My parents want to meet you, Russia says gently.
They do?
America asks hesitantly. Russia nods, going over and taking his hands. I talked with them. They're okay with us. They just want to meet you, he says gently.
Okay.
America is stunned. He didn't know they'd be so quick to accept it. Russia smiles softly, leaning down and kissing his forehead. Come, let's go, he says, gently leading America out of the room and down the hall. They step into the living room, where Russia's parents are waiting. Soviet is tall, frighteningly tall. His flag is slightly dimmed, something that happens to most country humans when their flags are no longer in use, but still strong in its colors. Bits of gray are scattered through his hair, and laughter lines are the deepest around his orange eyes. He looks tired, but at peace. as if he's put the stress of his younger years behind him. He wears a slim black sweater and gray pants, a silver wedding ring on his left hand. His right arm is wrapped protectively around his husband. Weimar's flag looks nothing like Third Reich's anymore, more similar to that of his son, East Germany. He's short, slightly shorter than America, and much shorter than Russia and Soviet. His black hair is messy and his gray eyes are soft. He's leaning closely against Soviet's side, eyes never stopping as they flick over America's frame, then Russia's, then around the room. He's wearing a large sweater, possibly Soviet's, a pair of gray sweatpants, and a matching silver wedding ring. Both of them look at him, Soviet raising an eyebrow. America, it's nice to see you again, the tall ex-Union says smoothly. America nods. And you? He says quietly. He shifts closer to Russia, though, still nervous. You love our son? Soviet asks. America glances for a moment before nodding again. Yes, sir, with everything I am, he says confidently. Soviet nods, a slight smile crossing his face. Good. Russia, treat him well. Russia nods with a smile. Now, I'm going to go make lunch. Soviet leans down and kisses Weimar's forehead before turning and going to the kitchen. America. Weimar's voice is quiet. Yes? Can I talk to you? On the porch? He asks. America glances at Russia, who nods gently. Go on, it's okay, Russia says softly. America looks back at Weimar and nods. He follows the smaller ex-country to the door, stepping out onto the porch with him. Weimar closes the door, shifting nervously. I assume Russia explained everything to you, he says slowly. He did, yeah, America replies. Look, Weimar looks away again. I'm so sorry, I never meant... Whoa, hey, America smiles a bit. What are you apologizing for? That wasn't you. This is you. You're Russia's dad, the guy he cares about without hesitation, the guy Soviet loves with all his heart. You're not responsible for anything that happened back then. Weimar looks at him in surprise, blinking. He'd expected America to be hesitant or disbelieving, even angry at him. But this he wasn't expecting at all. He can't help but smile, sniffling and quickly rubbing his eyes. Thank you. Really, I'm glad Russia has you, he says quietly. And I'm glad I have him, he says in response. Weimar shifts, and America can tell he wants a hug. You can, he says with a smile. Weimar moves, hugging him tightly. Thank you, he says quietly. America smiles, hugging him back. No problem. Come on, let's go inside before Rush starts worrying. Weimar giggles, letting go, and the two go back inside. Russia looks over at them, relaxing when he sees them both. Weimar smiles. I'm gonna go help your father cook, he says, kissing Russia's cheek when he leans down. He goes to the kitchen, humming happily. Russia goes over to America, smiling when the smaller country hugs around his waist. What did you two talk about? He asks. How dorky you and your dad are, America teases, making Russia laugh. Right, sure. Russia shakes his head and leans down, kissing America's forehead. America smiles. I love you, he says quietly. I love you too, my Linky, Russia says with a smile.
What does that mean?
America whines, making Russia laugh again. Nothing. He kisses America's forehead again. I'm gonna figure it out someday. Sure you will.
Chapter 14.
Weimar's party was a blast. All of Russia's siblings coming over from all around the world. The house was a bit of a mess afterwards, but all of the siblings agreed to help clean up the next day. Soviet and Weimar cleaned as well, but most of their time was spent kissing or teasing each other, Weimar always giggling. Russia and America were able to stay for a few days after the party as the siblings headed back to their own homes. Eventually, though, they had to go. Weimar was sad they had to go, but he understood that his son had a busy life. The four hugged for a good long while on the front porch while the cab waited, exchanging comforting words in Russian, German, and English. Germany said that he'll come visit you again soon, okay, Vati? Russia says softly. Weimar sniffles, drying his eyes. Okay, promise me you'll be safe, he says. I'll promise if you do, Russia responds, nodding. Take care of America, da? Soviet says with a teasing smile. America blushes as Russia nods, smiling back. I'll send you a letter soon, Soviet says. You know you can just text me, right? Russia says teasingly. Soviet rolls his eyes with a chuckle. I will never understand that little computer, so it will never happen, my son. The Russian translates to my son. Russia laughs warmly. I'll have to teach you someday. Perhaps. Russia and Soviet embrace, Soviet patting his son's back. The two converse in Russian for a while before Soviet ruffles Russia's hair and smiles. After a few more hugs and kisses, Russia and America finally get into the cab. They both wave as the cab drives off, waving until Soviet and Weimar are out of sight. America looks at Russia with a soft smile. Back home we go, he says softly. Russia chuckles, leaning down and kissing his forehead. Back home we go.
Chapter 15.
A month or so later, Russia had another show. As always, America attended, sitting in the private box with Germany. It looks to just be another normal day. Halfway through the second act, everything goes wrong. Russia is skating easily, the music surrounding him, blind to everything else. Suddenly, his eyes snap open when he hears America yelp. Brazil is there, in the box, his hand tight around America's upper arm, yelling something at him. Russia moves to interfere, and he falls. His skate catches on a dip in the ice. He tumbles to the ground, pain exploding through his body, limbs twisting in every wrong way. The audience surges forward with a single scream, havoc breaking out in the stands. Russia's vision is gone white, and through the screams he can vaguely hear America crying his name and Germany comforting him. Everything goes white, and Russia can feel nothing. America sits beside Russia's bed, feeling numb. Brazil had heard that America and Russia were together. He'd been furious and had taken the chance to punish America. He'd knocked out the security guard and burst into the box, immediately going after America. He would have succeeded in dragging him off if Russia hadn't fallen and drawn everyone's attention long enough for Germany to fight Brazil off. America had turned away from Brazil to see Russia unmoving on the ice, and had realized that the audience was screaming, not cheering. He thought Russia was dead. Oh, how much he had cried thinking his lover was dead because of him. but the paramedics had rushed onto the ice and picked Russia up in a gurney, confirming he was alive and sped him to the nearest hospital. Russia had been unconscious for a week. 6 broken ribs, lower back cracked and twisted, ankles shattered, and fractures in the skull. The doctors said that if he woke up, he could be paralyzed for the rest of his life. America hadn't left his side from the day he was admitted to the hospital. Soviet and Weimar came often. Russia's siblings would come when they could. America's family came as well, bringing him food and clothes and helping comfort him. But still, Russia didn't wake up. His vitals were steady. He was still alive and breathing, but he wasn't waking up. It was the beginning of the second week, and America didn't know what he would do. Brazil had been arrested for assault of a security officer and previous sexual abuse of partners. He was sentenced guilty and put in jail for a while. He wouldn't be getting out anytime soon. Without Russia to talk to and comfort him, America's anxiety and depression were getting worse. He couldn't even look at himself anymore. Every scar he saw throwing him into a fit of uncontrollable panic attacks. He hated how dependent on Russia he was, but he couldn't help it. Russia was the only one who made him feel like he belonged. Without him, America was struggling. Another week passed, and another, and another. On the 5th week, a month after the incident, everything changed. America was reading some book out loud to Russia, not really paying attention. Love looks not with the eyes, but with the mind, and thus winged Cupid is painted. Blind. Russia's voice is hoarse and quiet. America drops the book, looking up. Russia's eyes are half open. A small smile quirks his lips when he sees America's expression. Midsummer's Night Dream, His voice is slightly teasing. America covers his mouth to keep back a sob. Russia shifts, wincing when he moves his torso, but still smiles, beckoning America over. Come over here. I miss you, he says softly. America darts over, wrapping his arms around Russia. Ah. Russia winces, biting his lip. America moves to pull away, but is stopped when Russia hugs him back. America shakes, starting to cry. Hey, shh, Russia says softly, rubbing America's back. It's okay, I'm all right. Okay? America moves back, hiccuping and crying. You were unconscious for a month. But I'm awake now, aren't I? Russia takes America's hands, smiling softly. Come here, please. America sniffles, moving back beside him. Russia reaches up, gently wiping away America's tears. I'm sorry I was gone so long, my love, he says softly. America sniffles again, hiccuping. Did I scare you? Sometimes. I'm so sorry. Are you okay? I am now. America takes a deep breath. Russia smiles softly. You look just as handsome as you were when I last saw you, he says warmly. America blushes and giggles. Handsome boy, Russia murmurs, gently pulling him down and pressing a kiss on his lips. America blushes and kisses back. Someone bursts into the door. A random reporter. Russia doesn't even move, pushing the reporter out with a burst of wind and closing the door. He smiles in the kiss, pulling America closer, wrapping an arm around his waist and kissing him tenderly. America blushes, relaxing into the kiss and letting his lover hold him, finally at peace.
Chapter 16.
After another week, Russia is healed enough to come out of the bed. However, the damage to his back and ankle was still bad, so he was confined to a wheelchair. He didn't mind, though, just glad to be able to be out of the bed and move again. He attended physical therapy every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, trying to get his legs working properly again. Soon enough, he could walk for short periods of time, but nowhere near what he needed to skate again. His fans were very supportive, starting dozens of fundraisers to help him pay for the medical bills and therapy fees. There had been rumors, as there always were, that he had been sabotaged, that someone had planned for him to fall. The biggest suspects were Finland and America. Russia didn't address any of the rumors and focused on getting better and spending time with his lover. A few months after the incident, Russia called a press conference to update the media on his situation and finally address the rumors surrounding his injuries. America peeks through the curtain, looking out at the hundreds of people, all waiting for Russia to come out, murmuring in dozens of languages. "There's so many people." He looks back at Russia, who's fixing his hair. "I'm not surprised. I haven't really been seen in public for a while, so of course everyone would come." He sighs. "I just hope they can actually listen to what I have to say." "They will. Everyone listens when you start to talk." America smiles softly. Russia chuckles, fluffing his hair up before looking at America with a smile. "Thank you, dear. Would you mind helping me to the stage?" he asks. America nods, going over to Russia and wheeling him up on the ramp that leads to the stage. He pushes the wheelchair up the ramp and through the curtains. The entire room goes silent, watching Russia as he's wheeled to the podium. America moves, standing beside the podium. The audience explodes into questions, everyone talking over each other. Russia waits, saying nothing. The audience eventually quiets down, waiting for him to speak. "Good evening. My apologies for my absence for the past month. But as you know, I wasn't in the best of shape." His voice is even and calm. "I've called you all here today to update the media on my current situation and address rumors I've seen being spread on social media. Firstly, I would like to relieve you all by letting you know that my recovery is going well. I am able to walk for short distances already, and the doctors say I should be able to stand on my own within another month or so." The audience claps, cheering slightly. Russia waits for them to quiet down. "Now, on the topic of rumors. I've been seeing that some people have been making assumptions about the cause of my accident. Many people have assumed that it was sabotage. I can tell you right now that you are wrong. Finland did not try and ruin my career by tampering with the state of the ice, nor would he ever do that. We are rivals, yes, but we have honor. And for those of you who speculated that America was the cause of my injury, shame on you. I don't know how many times I have to say it, but America has no intention of harming me. And for those of you who still doubt that I love him," Russia moves, gently pulling America down and kissing him. The audience surges forward with a sea of questions, but Russia just breaks the kiss and winks at America as he wheels off stage with him. Behind the curtain, America blushes and can't stop giggling, covering his face in embarrassment. Russia smiles. "Did you like that exit?" He teases lightly. "Very much so," America giggles. "Come, let's head back to the hotel, yeah? I'm tired." America nods, going over and wheeling Russia out the back door and to their car. helping him in. He cuddles against Russia's side as their driver starts the car and drives off. When they get to the hotel, it's well into the night. They move into their room, America going over to the bed. Russia takes a deep breath and checks his pocket before wheeling over to behind America, who is currently messing with the sheets. Russia moves, easing himself out of the wheelchair and into a standing position. America? His voice is gentle. The smaller country turns around, jumping slightly when he sees Russia standing.
Ruz, you shouldn't get up without help. You'll hurt yourself,
he exclaims. Russia chuckles a bit, one hand on the bed to keep himself upright. I know, but it wouldn't feel right doing this sitting down. Russia takes America's hands, taking a deep breath. America, I love you more than anything in the world. I love how soft you are and how beautiful your laugh is, and how strong you can be, and a million other things I can't find the words for in any language. You're so beautiful, and I've loved you since practically the moment I set eyes on you. When we first met on that night in the club, you mean so much to me, and I don't know any other way to show that than this. Russia moves, slowly kneeling in front of America. He takes a box out of his pocket, opening it and holding it out in front of America. The smaller country covers his mouth with a gasp, tears welling in his eyes. A simple silver ring sits in the center of the box, shining in the dim lights of the room. America, will you do me the greatest honor and be my husband? Russia asks softly. America sobs happily, rushing forward and hugging him. Yes, 1,000,000 times yes, he cries, hugging him tightly. Russia laughs warmly while hugging back, kissing his cheek. I'm so sorry to spring this on you, but I couldn't help myself, he says. America sniffles, smiling brightly, his stars glowing. God, I love you, he sobs. Russia smiles softly, kissing his forehead and drying his tears. I love you too, he says softly. He gently puts the ring on America's finger, kissing his cheek again. Now, I hate to ruin the moment, but could you help me onto the bed? I think I may be stuck. Russia smiles, blushing in embarrassment. America giggles, standing up and helping Russia off the ground, easing him onto the bed. He lays down with his his fiancée, cuddling close. He'd learned how to heal, he'd learned how to love again, and now, with Russia by his side, he knew he could do anything. This was love.
And that's the end of this book. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did, because I really did. And for those of you who listened to me for the entire thing, yeah, you get a heads up on what's next. What's next is the 2 bonus chapters for Apricity, which are in a separate book. It's called 2 Rings, and that's directly up next. After that is Never Left. And I'd once again like to invite you to join the Discord, which is linked down in the description below. We also have a Reddit now. I'm only mentioning it at the end of Binge compilations because I don't feel like adding it to the outros. But, yeah, I want to see y'all join the Reddit. I want to have fun with you guys. That being said, I hope you have a nice rest of your day, night, or whatever it is for you. Just enjoy your time. And I will see you tomorrow with the first chapter of 2 Rings.